Out of the 25 leaders from opposition parties who shifted to the ruling dispensation, the ruling alliance of NDA, and out of these 25 leaders who had corruption cases against them, 23 of them are as good as absolved of all crimes. Either their cases against them have been closed or put on cold storage, or the investigation simply not initiated against them. So if you look at the cases of Ajit Pawar, Subhendu Adhikari, Himanta Biswa Sharma, you will see that they were embroiled in serious money laundering, extortion, corruption, financial irregularities. But those cases have been put in the back burner. Why is this relevant? This is relevant because it's not as if the central agencies are sleeping on their jobs. They are overactive, proactively working day in and day out, tackling corruption charges against whom? Against leaders of the opposition party. And these are no ordinary leaders. These are leaders who are at the helm of their respective parties, be it Hemant Soren, be it Arvind Kejriwal, Satyendra Jain, K. Kavita, Manish Sisodia. Aam Aadmi Party, of course, is facing the maximum brunt of it. But what is interesting and important here is that the quantum of it, it's not as if when UPA was in power, they did not use investigating agencies against opposition members. They did. But the quantum was something like 53%. What is the percentage now? 95%, which is like saying that all that the central agencies are doing is targeting opposition leaders and booking them for corruption charges. So the only criteria is whether the leader in question belongs to the opposition or the ruling party. We will initiate investigation against them. That is what where the danger lies. I mean, one can understand. I mean, in all fairness, this is politics. So, like I said, every party in power will prioritize and say, okay, let's first get after the leaders of the opposition, first handle them, and then we will come to the rest. One can understand to a certain extent that is done, but not to this extent. I mean, prioritize on the basis of quantum of the crime, the quantum of the case, the proceeds of the crime, or the severity of the crime. Prioritize on the basis of how badly it has affected public interest, or how badly the damage is done to public exchequer. Those should be the criteria, in my understanding, on who the investigating agencies will target first. Here, it's just based on one simple principle. If it's a leader of an opposition party and he is significant, he will be investigated, and every rule in the book will be bent to make sure that the process itself becomes punishment from him or her. But this will not happen if you get the first message and you cross over. This has not happened for Himanta Biswa Sharma. This has not happened for Subhendu Adhikari. This has not happened for Ajit Pawar. Why? Because they decided to bend. And those who decided not to bend, they are facing the music, whether it's Arvind Kejriwal or K. Kavita or Hemant Soren for that matter. So it's a might is right sort of a situation here. And it is so visible to everyone that I would be surprised if the public does not take this into account when they cast their vote. Do you want the culture of might is right to set in? Because somewhere down the line, it's going to hurt you and me as well. If you look at this entire saga of central agencies being used against leaders, and why I brought up the issue of quantum of crime and the seriousness of charges, it is not as if the cases against Himanta Biswa Sharma or Ajit Pawar are any minor cases of financial irregularities. These are major scams, whether it's the Adarsh housing scam, whether it's the Maharashtra Cooperative Bank scam, whether it's the Sharda chit fund scam that Himanta Biswa Sharma is embroiled in, or the Narda sting operation that Subhendu Adhikari is embroiled in. All of these are massive scams where the agencies have gone cold. And if you look at the other side, the cases, I'm not saying those are minor crimes, but has the agencies been able to produce credible evidence? Take the instance of the Delhi liquor case. Have they been able to conclusively established the money trail so far. There's somebody like Manish Sisodia who is in jail for over a year. Has anything been conclusively established about money from the proceeds going into the coffers of the party? If so, then it should be made public. So this entire idea of making the process itself the punishment is something that a lot of legal experts, a lot of analysts and observers have pointed out. In fact, I urge all of you to watch this video that is posted on Free Press Journal's YouTube channel, in which I had a discussion with some very senior members and some seasoned voices about what's going on. And do not miss on what senior advocate Harish Jagtiani said in the show. What he said is even bail provisions are being used in such a manner that even in those cases where it's a fit case for bail, bail is denied. Sometimes either because draconian provisions of the law are invoked. If a PMLA is invoked, the court, of course, is bound by the limitations of PMLA. I mean, it is one of those provisions that does not allow bail. So if that is invoked by the investigating agency, there is nothing much that is left to the courts if it has to operate within the ambit of that law. Now, senior advocate Jagtiani also points out that all of this amounts to democracy being on ventilator, because this sort of a gross misuse of agencies only directed towards the opposition means that it becomes a tool for threat and intimidation, where leaders who decide to bend, who relent, are embraced, and those who don't have to face the music. So I urge you to listen to this video. The link will be in the description. I also had Dr. Sameer Dalai of the Nationalist Congress Party. He's one of the mature, sane voices of the NCP, who said that, you know, there is a difference between using the law and delivering justice. So law sometimes can be used in an unjust manner as well. I think that is what he meant, but I urge you to listen to his point of view in this particular video. Link, like I said, will be in the description. I had Krishna Hegde of the Shiv Sena, the Shinde faction, also saying that it is unfair to attribute all the leaders who moved from other parties to BJP and you attribute it only to the corruption cases against them. That would be unfair, because many others have moved, and so these parties, the opposition parties, need to look inwards why prominent leaders are moving out of these parties, and it's unfair to blame the BJP, Shiv Sena and the NDA alliance for it. I also had Karan Verma, who is a political commentator and author, a sympathizer of the BJP. What he said is that, you know, for us to every time question the due process, for us to question the agencies, question the courts, is unfair. I mean, the moment there is a corruption charge against an opposition leader, you can't suddenly make the entire process suspect, and that is what, according to him, is happening. And that's also, according to him, a very sweeping sort of a generalization which one must refrain from. So those are the views. I thought they're very interesting, very diverse and very insightful. I urge you to watch that video as well on Free Press Journal's YouTube channel, and do keep watching Offbeat with Afrida. Do subscribe, like and share videos that you have watched and liked. Thank you so much.